Have you ever met someone from Liberia and caught yourself wondering, what is it about their culture, their language, or even their style that just stands out from the rest of West Africa? You're not imagining it. Liberia's story is truly one of a kind on the continent. Here's why. Here's the thing. Liberia was never really colonized, at least not in the traditional sense. Back in the early 1800s, a bunch of freed black slaves from the US started heading back to Liberia. Some made the move on their own, but a lot of them got help from a group called the American Colonization Society. They became known as Americo-Liberians. And get this, the name Liberia literally means land of the free. The capital, it's called Monrovia, named after US President James Monroe. And if you look at the flag, it's basically an American remix. Red and white stripes, but just one white star on a blue field. But Liberia's unique identity isn't just about its symbols or its history. It's also about the way people speak, connect, and express who they are. So, what does language sound like in a country with such deep American roots, but a truly African soul? To many outsiders, Liberians often sound surprisingly fluent in English. So fluent, in fact, that even Donald Trump once praised the Liberian president, seemingly unaware that English is actually the country's official language.
Just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
Very good, sir.
But here's what most people still miss. English has been reshaped into something uniquely Liberian. Liberians also speak Kolokwa, a powerful street language that blends English with West African grammar, slang, and attitude. Here's an example of everyday Kolokwa.
But you continue to make flour from here, either 1 hour walk or 10-minute walk, then you want to make flour for a 5-minute walk, wave it. Then your friend, you come to one conclusion, Ali, you say now your hormone, then from there, you solve your lane in your hand now. Then nobody can take advantage.
Kolokwa tells the story of a people who made English truly their own. From music and fashion to the way they carry themselves, Liberian youth have their own flavor. The energy, the unapologetic pride. It doesn't just reflect American influence. It reflects something unique that was born in Liberia, from authentic Liberian Afropop. To the gritty fusion of Hipco and Trapco.
I treat you how you show me. Next time, don't sell your respect for dry fish and bony vogi.
The country's music scene reflects a layered and complex identity. You'll hear American phrases, but they're being flipped in ways only a Liberian could. A lot of Liberians will tell you straight up, we're not like other West Africans. And it's true. While many countries in the region have colonial roots tied to Europe, Liberia's ties run straight to the United States, but also deep into West African soil. The culture is a fusion. You'll see Americo-Liberian style in the government buildings, but you'll also feel deep traditional West African roots in the food, religion, and values. But it hasn't all been harmony. Liberia's uniqueness also came with pain. 2 brutal civil wars between 1989 and 2003 left the country scarred. But even in the midst of war, the culture persisted. street journalism emerged. Kolokwa became a language of protest and survival. And the youth began rewriting what it meant to be Liberian. The Americo-Liberians, descendants of the freed slaves who came from America, held most of the power for over a century. They built Western-style mansions, wore top hats, and spoke polished English, while many indigenous groups were marginalized. It created real tension. Some Liberians felt like second-class citizens in their own land. Even though Americo-Liberians are less than 5% of the population today, they've had a big impact on Liberia's politics, culture, and identity. Even today, the relationship between Liberia and the wider Black diaspora is layered, with pride, pain, and possibility all mixed in. Today's Liberia is vibrant, but its identity was shaped by a complicated past. Freed Black Americans came with a dream. Indigenous peoples already had their own ways of life. To truly understand Liberia, we have to go back to the uneasy relationship between the returnees and the indigenous peoples. That's where the real story begins. Subscribe for part 2, where we uncover what really happened when those two worlds collided.